What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name is Michael Bremen, aka Allfires. Now, after some huge announcements from Marvel at both San Diego Comic-Con and D23 last summer, the last year that's followed has been really difficult. First, there was the public debacle with Blade, then they brought back their old CEO just to fire some top brass at Marvel Studios. There's the QC rollback, and of course, now we have a huge strike going on with the writers, which may end up getting much worse this summer, with both the directors and the actors striking as well. Now, while we wait for this upcoming San Diego Comic-Con to basically address all that, which we're pretty sure is going to include a full rework to the schedule of the Multiverse Saga and just when we expect Secret Wars to come out, there's also the anticipation for new announcements. Yes, in the face of all this negativity, new shows, new films, and of course new directors. One huge question mark remains from last San Diego Comic-Con though, who actually is going to direct Secret Wars? And now we have an industry insider weighing in on just that, providing multiple names, also weighing in on things like Doctor Strange 3. We're going to break it all down, all the new director talk, who's up to direct Secret Wars, who Kevin Feige asked and actually got turned down by, and what other directors are up for Phase 6 films. We're breaking it all down, but first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel, and that's all we do. Everything from official Easter egg breakdowns, trailers, and reviews, to the occasional industry insider report and everything in between. So, if that sort of thing's for you, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. That will automatically enter you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaway. The next one is less than a month away to coincide with Secret Invasion. Again, all you gotta do be a sub. Leave a comment on this video if you want. Stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so today's update comes from none other than Jeff Snyder, who has been in the industry forever, but really ubiquitous as a Marvel scoopster as of late on the Hot Mic podcast. He had to say this, and not surprisingly so, that none other than Destin Daniel Cretton is pushing to direct Secret Wars. Now, obviously, Cretton already earned his stripes with what he did with Shang-Chi 1, one of the best projects in Phase 4, and thusly was rewarded with not only a producer role and presumably directing some of the episodes of Wonder Man, but also directing Avengers 5 Kang Dynasty and Shang-Chi 2, even though it hasn't been officially announced. Because he's directing Avengers 5, he seemed like an obvious name to direct Avengers Secret Wars. There's still rumors that might be turned into 2 movies, and of course there's only so much one man can do for a lot of this that should be shot concurrently, but that name seems to be at the top of the list now, according to Jeff Snyder. Now, one other really interesting thing he had to say as it pertains to Secret Wars and directing was that Kevin Feige actually offered Secret Wars to Jon Favreau, another name that should not be surprising, and actually they just sat down to have a 15th anniversary discussion about Iron Man 1 the other day on the official Marvel channel. It's about 15 minutes long or so. It's a really good watch through. They are extremely candid and introspective about what was going through their minds when they were creating Iron Man 1 and then the rest of the Marvel universe, but also very revealing of the respect and relationship those two have for each other. I could 100% see Kevin Feige saying, "Hey John, do you want to come back and do Secret Wars?" But unfortunately, Jon Favreau apparently turned him down because, as we all know, he is knee-deep over in the Star Wars stuff and has been for quite some time. And as I said moments ago in this video, one man can only do so much. It would be a lot for Jon Favreau to try to focus on what he's doing with the Star Wars shows and Disney Plus. Probably just doesn't have enough bandwidth and really hasn't been involved outside of the occasional Happy Hogan cameo where he can be in the director's seat, being a part of the dialogue and really steering these characters into the sort of development that would lead into, say, a Multiverse Saga conclusion. So I think it better goes to a different director who's been working on some of the characters and films that'll be involved, say something like Destin Daniel Cretton, who's done Shang-Chi. Now, there were other names brought up for Secret Wars, first of which Sam Raimi is returning for Doctor Strange 3, according to Jeff Snyder. That's been heavily rumored for quite some time to show up on the slate before we get to Secret Wars, and considering the sort of tag scenes they put at the end, you would think they're going to bring Clea back. Magic has a huge thing to do with this Multiverse Saga. Doctor Strange has been at the center of it all. Doctor Strange 3 not coming out before Secret Wars would be even more weird than it does. So Sam Raimi coming back from that, and apparently his name is in the hat to direct Secret Wars as well. And John Watts from the Spider-Man trilogy, who pulled out of directing the Fantastic Four, according to Jeff Snyder, is also being considered for Secret Wars. John Watts was brought up recently as there have been tons of rumors since day one that Sony was looking to bring him back for Spider-Man 4 and possibly the next Spider-Man trilogy because how well he did with the first one. I gotta be honest, guys, of all these names on the list, I believe in Destin Daniel Cretton. I think Shang-Chi was amazing. We're going to get to see how well he does with an Avengers movie in Avengers 5. That seems like the most obvious choice, but I also would be 100% behind Jon Watts. He did a really good job with the Spider-Man movies, and quite honestly, bringing back the other Spider-Man the way it was in Spider-Man No Way Home, that movie could have gotten dangerously close to becoming less than expectations, and he was able to meet them. Basically, there was so much hype going into that film, and it lived up to that, and that's going to be sort of the same parallel going into Secret Wars, even though it's hard for me to imagine anybody being more hyped than we all were in October, trying to guess whether Andrew and Toby were in that film, but still, he met those expectations, and I think it's that sort of achievement that would make Marvel Studios go, hey, this guy probably is our guy to direct Secret Wars. And you have to imagine if they felt comfortable enough, and back then extending him the Fantastic Four before No Way Home ever came to fruition, that this has got to be a shoo-in at this point. He's got to be one of the names on the top of the list and just one of the proven names in Marvel. Now, obviously, there is some names left off this list. Some names that we actually broke in an exclusive here at the channel at the end of last year that Marvel Studios were intent on bringing back, none other than the Russos. And incidentally enough, right after that exclusive ran at the channel back in October, the Russos were up for one of their Agbo films and asked point blank about Secret Wars since the announcement had just been made by Marvel Studios at San Diego Comic-Con. And their answer was not as cryptic as you would expect. Basically, straight up that they were committed till the end of the year, that they wouldn't really be able to work on Secret Wars for the rest of the decade, and that, of course, if the script was right, that it would be what they called back to work, business as usual. Considering there's a really good chance that Michael Waldron is still working on that script and isn't anywhere near done, the Russos wouldn't be able to commit to that. And so if there was any truth to the Russos being willing to come back, you have to imagine that Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige would at least want to explore that option as much as possible until they figured out that it wasn't an option at all. Now that we're hearing all these new names and all of a sudden, my brain sort of unfortunately goes to a place where maybe they've closed the door on the Russos, although fingers crossed, I'm still hoping they're willing to come back and do this when all is said and done. Of course, this year at San Diego Comic-Con, I expect a lot of announcements, but what I don't expect is a director announcement for this film, because if the rumors are right, we're probably not getting Secret Wars before 2028. They've still got 5 years to go out and find that director. So guys, let me know all your thoughts down below. Of all these names mentioned today, Destin Daniel Cretton, the Russos, Sam Raimi, Jon Watts, Jon Favreau, who is your pick to direct Secret Wars? I'm all ears. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. All right, we're still giving away a PlayStation 5. The next milestone is Secret Invasion, which is less than a month away. All you have to do to be entered to win, hit the subscribe button, then leave a comment down below. And because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos, the same way we're doing here. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on. And as always, if you like today's video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. My name's Michael Roman. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at I'mFires. Thanks for checking out the video, guys. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.